Good afternoon from InvestSharp. This is Randy Smotone with your Wednesday, November the 11th market update. On the economic front, it was pretty quiet again today. The market did get a lift higher this morning by several Fed officials voicing policymakers' commitment to ensure the economic recovery stays on track. The bond market was closed today in observance of Veterans Day. Gold traded to a new high of 1,119. Oil was up slightly to settle just above $79 a barrel. We did have some merger and acquisition news after the close. Hewlett-Packard, symbol HPQ, announced it's acquiring 3Com, symbol COMS, for $7.90 a share in an all-cash deal worth $2.7 billion. HP also raised 2010 guidance. Let's go over and take a look at the Dow chart. The Dow closed up 44 points to 10,291. The S&P closed up $5 to 1,098, and the Nasdaq closed up 15 points to 2,166. Unlike yesterday, where the Dow had the largest percent gain, the Nasdaq had the biggest percent gain today at 0.74%. Let's take a look at the gold and silver ETFs. Looks good. Gold ETF was up over 1% today, still going higher. MACD still looks good. Look at SLV, the silver ETF. It was higher by 1.53% today. As I talked about, I think yesterday, it could have a head and shoulders top here that it's forming, or it could. Here is a shoulder, here's the head, and here's a shoulder. It could be an inverted head and shoulders and go higher. So we'll have to have confirmation on that. We'll have confirmation on the head and shoulders. If it closes below here, we'll have confirmation on the inverted head and shoulders here if we can close above the 1750 area on the SLV. Since tech and retail's doing real well. This time of the year, retail does well because of the holidays. And tech's been raising guidance. So let's take a look at some stocks. Let's look at BBY as a retailer. Best Buy. I talked about it before. I love this ascending triangle. It should have really strong support around $41 area. It's touched it lots of times. Let's take a quick look over here at the Best Buy point and figure chart. Shows a bullish catapult breakout with a price objective of $54. You can see right here the fat 41 where it broke out. Again, should be really strong support because it was really tough resistance for it to get through, obviously, because it touched it so many times and got rejected. Let's take a look at IBM. Nice uptrend line on IBM. It's coming up against some resistance. I do like IBM better on a dip. I would try to buy it somewhere down here around the $122, something like that level if possible. But it's a good stock for the long term. Another good stock for long term would be Hewlett-Packard. Now you can see Hewlett-Packard has got some resistance at 50. It's trying to get past. It hasn't been able to overcome that, but it also has some support at 49. And it's got a great uptrend line. Take a quick look at the 2-year on Hewlett-Packard. You can see here around a little 49.50 where it's got some it's touched before and been rejected. I actually believe that it may break above that 50. We'll have to keep an eye on it. It may come back down. You could definitely buy it on a dip around this 48.50 level, but it would definitely be a good long-term investment. Let's look at CTSH, which is Cognizant Technology Solutions. You can see here that earnings gapped higher here, last earnings gapped higher here. It's been holding the gap, and it may hold this gap as well. So maybe if you can get it around the 42, 43 level, again, it would be a great long-term investment, even though this thing's been on fire. If you can get it on a 3 to 5% pullback, it's a great company, great technology company. That's Cognizant Technology Solutions, CTSH. 12 of the 16 sectors we follow finished in the green today. With yesterday, the home construction index was the weakest, and today the Dow Jones Home Construction Index was the leader, up over 7%. Thanks to Toll Brothers, symbol TOL, stating revenues would be down much less than Wall Street expected, and the quarterly contracts were nearly double from this time last year. The weakest sector was oil index, down 0.35%. Let's take a quick look at the VIX. Volatility index. In here, it looks like it's trying to stop. We might have some, but it may go back up, have some volatility. It's been pretty volatile in the last week and a half, 2 weeks anyway. So we may have a little dip back in the market. Have to wait and see. I do think, though, back to the Dow, I'm thinking we might actually hold this area up here at this 10,100 to 10,000 area. I'm thinking we may hold it this time. The MACD is trying to go higher, so the economic news from week to week, the jobless claims will be really what holds the key there, but I think we could hold. Let's go over to InvestSharp website, take a look at the current market signals. We follow the point and figure charts for the Dow, the NASDAQ, and the S&P. All three indices are on buy signals. We did have some changes today in the point and figure objectives for the Dow and the NASDAQ. The new price objective for the Dow is 11,550 right here, and the new price objective for the NASDAQ is 2,460. S&P price objective has not changed. Again, we're on buy signals on the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, all three. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me, and remember to always invest sharp.